Okay, so in this video I'm going to have a look at some sets problems, problems involving sets, or using sets to solve some practical problems here. So I have this question here, and we're just going to draw a Venn diagram to represent this information first of all. That's the first part of the question here. So we have a class of 35 students, and we have three languages here, French, Spanish and German. And we're going to represent who studies which language using a Venn diagram. So usually the first thing you would do here is draw a kind of a large rectangle here. So I'll just draw that first. So there's my universal set. So our universal set will be 35 students. Now we're going to draw three circles here, and three circles will represent the three languages that we're talking about. So they will overlap here in the middle. So we're talking about French, Spanish and German. Now let's read down through the question, and we'll just fill out as much as we can as we go along. So we have 16 students studying French. Now the French circle here is broken up now into 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know how to split up that 16, so I can't put in any numbers here yet. I'll just put the 16 here next to the French, just to show me that we're talking about 16 French language students. Now we have Spanish, we have 20 studying Spanish, so we'll put the 20 here, and we have 13 here. Again, I can't do anything with those numbers. 7 study French and Spanish. Now French and Spanish is here. Now that's divided up into 2 sections. Again, I don't know how to split that 7 up, so I can't put any numbers in here yet. 8 study French and German, that's here. Again, I don't know how to split that 8 up. And 7 study Spanish and German. So Spanish and German again is here, that's where these 2 circles overlap. 2 sections, so I don't know how to split that 7 up as well. 6 students study all 3 languages. This area here is where the 6 will go. This is where the 3 circles overlap. So this is where the 6 students who study all 3 languages will go. Now, go back and read the question again. So again, we can't do anything with the 16, the 20 or the 13. 7 students study French and Spanish. 7 students study French and Spanish. That's here, where these 2 circles overlap. I've already accounted for 6, so the remaining student must be here. 6 plus 1 will give me the 7. 8 students study French and German. French and German will be here. I've already accounted for 6, so 2 will go there. 6 plus 2 will give me the 8. And then 7 students study German and Spanish. So 7 will go here. I've already counted for 6, so I've got 1 left over. Okay, so now we have 3 more sections filled out. We still have to fill out this section, this section, this section, and the section out here. So let's have a look at this section here. Now this entire circle here, the French circle here, is divided up into 4 sections. We have 3 of them filled out, so we can work out this one here. 3 of the sections, these 3 sections here add up to 6 plus 2 plus 1, which is 9, which gives me a remainder of 7 to bring me up to 16. These 3 here add up to 8, which will give me 20 minus 8 is 12, so 12 will go in here. 6 plus 2 plus 1, that's 9. That will give me 4 here to bring me up to 13. Okay, so now I have all the sections filled out with the exception of the bit out here. How many students don't study any of these 3 languages? Well, the way you do that is simply add up. We have everything filled out now except for this bit out here, so everything should add up to 35. So let's see, 7 plus 1 plus 12 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 4. These are all these numbers here. They all add up to 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 12 is 20, plus 2 22, plus 6 28, plus 1 29, plus 4 33. So that will give me, have I got that right? 7 1 is 8, 20, 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So we've accounted for 33 students here, which means that there are 2 students missing, so these 2 students must be out here. So now we've got everything filled out. So these 2 students don't study any of these 3 languages. So let's just answer the remaining questions then. Well, we have represent the information on the Venn diagram. We've done that now. How many students study French only? Now French, this word only here is very important. French only will be these 7 here. These 7 here will be students who only study French. These study French, but they also study Spanish. These also study Spanish, and these 2 here will study German as well as French. So these 7 here will only study French. That's part 2 actually here. That's part 2. Part 3 then is how many students study German only? Well, here's your German circle here. These 4 here are the only ones who study German only. These ones here study another language as well as German. So we're only talking about these 4 here. And the last one then is just a question on probability. A student is chosen at random. So you pick one of these 35 students at random. What is the probability that the chosen student does not study any of these languages? Well, 2 students study none of these languages. That's these 2 here. And there are 35 students in total, so that's 2 out of 35. This is your probability that a student chosen at random does not study any of these languages. Okay, so that's the first problem done. Second one then we're going to do is this one here. Now this one here is a slightly more detailed one, and it involves some algebra as well. So it involves 39 people, and they were asked if they like 3 different types of music. So we know immediately then that we're talking about 39 people, so we need to draw a rectangle and 3 circles again. So let's do that first of all. So we're going to draw a rectangle. Then we're going to draw our 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. So the 3 circles overlap here. Now the 3 types of music we're talking about, 3 types of music we're talking about here will be, let's see, what are they? Country music, classical music, and rock music. So country music. So this is our country music, classical music, and rock music. And we're talking about, I think it was a total of 39 people. So this is our basic Venn diagram. We haven't filled out any numbers other than this 39 yet, so let's see what we can do. 39. I'm going to be moving up and down a little bit here, back and forward, so just bear with me. So 39 people were asked. We have this all filled out. 23 people liked country music. 23 people liked country music. So 23 people liked country music. So we got to put that in somewhere. So 23 people will go in here. Again, it's divided up into 4 sections. So we don't know how to split up that 23 people. So I'm going to just stick it here for the moment, just to remind me that 23 people liked country music. So classical and rock, I wonder are we given those as well? Let's see. 18 like classical. 18 like classical, so I can put the 18 here. Again, I can't split it up. I don't know how to split it up in here yet, so nothing I can do about that. And let's have a look at what next we're given. 18 like classical. 3 liked rock music only. Now again, this word only is very important. 3 liked rock music only. So rock music only is going to be here. These 3 like rock music only. These people, and these people like rock music as well, because they're inside this circle. But they also like either country music or classical music as well. Okay, so that's that bit done. 3 like rock music only. 7 like classical music and rock music, but not country music. Not country music. So how many did we say? 7. So 7 like classical music and rock music. So that's here. But they don't like country music. So we can leave them out of here, so we know that the 7 go here. So that's fine. 7 liked classical music and rock music, but not country music. 9 liked country music and classical music. 9 liked country music and classical music. So 9 will go here, but we don't know how to split up that 9. It doesn't say country music and classical music only. If it did, we could put the 9 here. It just says country music and classical music. So it's here, so but we don't know how to split up that 9. Okay. 11 like country music and rock music. 11 like country music and rock music, that's here. Again, we don't know how to split up that 11. And 4 did not like any of these types of music, so 4 can go out here. They don't like any of these types of music. 6 liked country music only. 6 liked country music only. This is country music circle here. We can put a 6 then here. These are the people who only like country music. They don't like these two types here, rock or classical. Okay. Now, the last piece of information then is they say, let X represent the number of people who liked all 3 types. So all 3 types of music is here in the middle, so we can put an X in there. So this is everything we can fill out so far. We've read it twice really at this stage, so we filled out an extra bit of information. Now we've got to read it again, see if there's anything else we can fill out. Usually you end up, as I say, reading these questions 2 or 3 times before you fill out all the information you can. So let's start again then. Let's see, 39, we have 23 liked country music, 18 liked classical music. Again, we can't do any more with that as such yet. So let's move on. 3 liked rock music only, we have that. 7 liked classical music and rock music but not country music, we have that filled out. 9 liked country music and classical music. 9 liked country music and classical music. That's here. So these 2 sections here represent 9 people. We have this bit filled out, so that means this bit here must be these 9 people minus this bit here, which is X. So this section here is 9 minus X. 11 liked country music and rock music. 11 liked country music and rock music, that's here. So that must mean that this bit here must be these 11 minus the X bit here. Okay, I think that's probably as much as we can fill out. 4 did not like any, we have that. 6 like country music only, we have that, and we put in the X as well. So we filled out as much as we can at this stage. Now, there's one section here left to fill out. We could work that out now, in fact, or we can try and work out what X is. I tell you what we'll do, we'll work out this section here first. Now, we know that this circle here, the classical music circle here, is divided up into 4 sections. This, and this. We have 3 of them, more or less, so we can work out what this is. We know the whole thing represents 18. So what we could say is that 18 is equal to 9 minus X plus 7. This 9 minus X plus this section here. Actually plus this section here, it's not the 18 as such. What we'll do, if you just bear with me for a second, if we add these 3 sections, what do we get is what I'm trying to do. These 3 sections here will give me 9 minus X plus 7. So 9 minus X plus X will just give me 0, and I'll just be left with 9 plus 7, which is 16. Now, so in other words, if we add these 3 sections here, we get 16, which means there must be 2 people in here to bring us up to 18. These 3 sections plus this section should give me 18. So if I add these 3 sections here, I get 16. Add these 2, I'll get 18 here. So we have all sections worked out now at this stage. Now, the first question here is, after representing on a Venn diagram, find the value of X. So let's see if we can do that. Now, there are 2 ways of doing this. We could add up all of these numbers here and let it equal to 39. That's one way of doing it. Or if we look here, we could just add these 4 sections up here, let them equal to 23. That will work out for us as well. Now, you just got to be careful when you're just picking one circle to do that, because if you tried, say for example, adding these sections here up, this section, and this section up, what will happen is that because there are only 2 X's in your equation, you'll end up with 18 equals 18. So for example, like if we tried it, like 9 minus X plus 2 plus x plus 7 should give us 18. All of these 4 sections should add up to give us 18. But is that any good for working out x? Well, let's see. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 7 is 18. But look, we have a minus x plus x here, which will give us 0. So our x's just disappear, and I just end up with 18 is equal to 18. So that's not going to be any use to us when we try to work out what x is. So really you need 3 lots of x's here. So if we look at this circle here, we've got an x and x and an x here. So if I add these 3 up, it should work out for us. So let's see, does it? These 4 sections here should add up to 23. So we have 23 should be equal to 6 plus 9 minus x plus x plus 11 minus x. So what do we end up with? That gives us 23 is equal to 9 and 6, 15. 15 plus 11, 26. Okay, so now we have a minus x plus x, which will just give us 0. And we end up with a minus x here. So I do end up with an x, just one x in my final equation, which is exactly what we wanted. When we tried over here, the x has disappeared. So just be careful of that when you're working these out. Now, let's see, what we can do now is just subtract 26 from both sides. So in other words, what I'm going to do here is subtract 26 from this side, subtract 26 from this side. So what I end up with is 23 minus 26 on this side, and on this side these will just disappear. I'll get 0, and I end up with minus x over here. So that will give me, on the left hand side, I'll end up with minus 3 equals minus x. So that will just give me, if minus 3 is equal to minus x, that means plus 3 is equal to plus x. So 3 is equal to x, or x is equal to 3 here. Okay, so I've worked out what x is, and that means I can work out any of these sections here with x's in them. Now, the other way of doing this is just simply to add everything up. So add the 6, the 9 minus x, the 2, the 11 minus x, the x, the 7, the 3, and the 4, and they should all add up to 39. If you do that, you'll get the same answer. You'll still get x is equal to 3. So we have our answer, x is equal to 3. So what else were we asked here? We found the value of x. How many people liked classical music only? Classical music only, we've worked that out as 2. We worked that out first, actually. So we've done that. How many people liked country music and classical music, but not rock music? So they liked country music and classical music, that's here, but not rock music. Rock music is represented by this bit here, so it's 9 minus x is what we really need to work out. So 9 minus x is 9 minus x is just 9 minus 3. We worked out x as 3, so that will give me 6. So the answer is 6. So 6 people here liked country music and classical music, but not rock music. And that's really it for the last section in sets.